Welcome back to the Beauty Bulletin, your bi-weekly roundup of the biggest stories shaping the beauty world right now. Let's dive in. First up in industry news, supplement brand Cymbiotika gets a celebrity-backed boost. From Target and an Ulta expansion to precision wellness partnerships and a new investment from Alex Earle, Cymbiotika is rapidly turning the beauty from within space into a mainstream beauty and wellness proposition. Cymbiotika is capping a transformational 2026 with a high-profile new investor, the entrepreneur and social media personality Alex Earle, who has taken a personal stake in the science-backed wellness brand after years of using its supplements. Earle, whose TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube audiences span 14 million followers, will use her channels to educate consumers about the brand, with a potential co-branded product also on the table. This investment arrives after a string of moves that have rapidly expanded Cymbiotika's retail footprint, sharpened its positioning around beauty from within and precision wellness, and elevated the company from simply being a supplement brand to a broader lifestyle platform. The momentum was already building before Earle came on board. Cymbiotika entered 2026 with $25 million in outside capital raised in January, while remaining profitable and growing at a triple-digit rate, according to the company. The funding followed its late 2025 expansion into every Target store nationwide and was followed in March of this year by a launch at more than 1,000 Ulta Beauty stores. This Ulta partnership put Cymbiotika directly into beauty retail rather than traditional supplement channels, with a lineup spanning NAD+, vitamin C, and magnesium, targeting healthy aging, radiance, collagen support, sleep, and recovery. Cymbiotika's 2026 playbook also points to a broader convergence between beauty, wellness, performance, and longevity. Its strategy combines mass reach, prestige beauty retail, science-led formulation, creator influence, expert-led protocols, and experiential branding, suggesting that the next generation of wellness brands may compete less as supplement companies and more as a fully integrated lifestyle brand. The Earle investment is just the latest proof that the influencer is becoming part of the company's growth strategy and potentially its future product pipeline. Allies of Skin founder Nicholas Travis has announced that they will exit the brand. Travis is stepping down from Allies of Skin, the Singapore-based luxury skincare brand that he founded in 2016, with beauty executive Alicia Valencia joining as interim president. Travis, who also serves as chief executive, informed employees of his resignation earlier last week. He is giving 6 months notice and will leave the company on February 10th of 2027, according to emails that were viewed by the Business of Fashion. The departure comes a decade after Travis launched Allies of Skin with 3 products, following around 2.5 years of research and development. He began developing the business after experiencing complications from facial reconstructive surgery, combining his interest in skincare ingredients with his studies in biomedical and pharmaceutical science. It entered international retail in its first year through Space NK and Cult Beauty, before building a wider distribution network spanning the US, Europe, and Asia. I don't have any information as to why he's resigning, just that he told his employees that he was giving his 6 months notice. Valencia joins Allies of Skin with experience in brand building, merchandising, and international expansion. In January 2026, she left her role as global president of Makeup by Mario after helping lead the makeup brand from their launch through its global retail rollout. And before joining Makeup by Mario, Valencia held senior roles at Pat McGrath Labs, Bobbi Brown, and the Estee Lauder companies. She spent 20 years managing brands within Estee Lauder's portfolio, including Bobbi Brown Cosmetics, Creme de la Mer, and Jo Malone London. Her appointment provides Allies of Skin with an interim leader during Travis's remaining 6 months with the company. And in some fun podcast news, Refinery 29 and skincare brand EOS are starting a new podcast series about fragrance. In December of last year, EOS made its fragrance debut with a line of affordable body mists. Now, the mass market personal care brand is taking on the audio world. Yesterday, on the 17th, EOS teamed up with Refinery 29 to launch Nosedive, a new podcast dedicated to all things fragrance. Hosted by perfumer and creative director Asia Grant, Nosedive will begin with a deep dive into Y2K fragrance nostalgia featuring pop icon guest JoJo. The 5-episode season will roll out throughout the late summer and fall, including a live taping at Refinery 29's BeautyCon event in September. According to EOS, Refinery 29 approached the brand as a potential sponsor for the podcast's debut season, even before EOS launched its first body mist in December. The opportunity appealed to the brand to act as more than just a sponsor, but also as a co-producer of the first season. Here's a quote from EOS president Soo-young Kang. Quote, "Podcasts have become such an important part of influencing how people think. There are many ways in which brands are taking part in branded content, whether it's episodic series on social media, maybe even streaming content series, things like that. In our case, we really wanted this specific objective of being part of the narrative of the forces driving fragrance as an industry. We felt like podcasts were the perfect channel to do that." End quote. Brooke Devard, who joined Refinery 29 as Chief Content Officer in 2025, said that fragrance is also an increasingly important part of the publication's channels, which also cover topics like fashion, identity, and finances for a largely female audience. Fragrance is Refinery 29's fastest growing beauty vertical, and 52% of its audience considers fragrance as an integral form of self-expression. Here's a quote from Brooke. Quote, "It's the stories and the language around fragrance that makes it feel real. And we're seeing that people are expressing themselves with fragrance the way people express themselves with fashion. Fragrance is kind of the new fashion." End quote. Though scent has been a long part of EOS's products, it's a fairly new player as a full-fledged fragrance brand. The brand first hit the market in 2007 and was perhaps best known to millennial consumers for its spherical scented lip balms. I'll put a photo up here for just a little memory trigger. EOS expanded to body care in 2020 and launched fragrance body mist, like I said, last year in December. And even less than a year after its foray into fragrance, EOS wants to establish itself as a leader in the increasingly competitive category. According to Nielsen IQ data, EOS is already the #1 body mist brand across food, drug, and mass channels. While EOS will use the Nosedive podcast to leverage new product launches, Brooke said that EOS allowed Refinery 29 the freedom to talk about fragrance in a more holistic sense. Here's a quote. Quote, "In these deep dive conversations where you're getting into people's personal histories, you're just getting so much, so it doesn't feel like you're being sold to at any point. I think podcasting specifically really lends itself to this format because you have this hour-long space to go deep with someone. And yes, it's presented by a sponsor, but the breadth and depth of the interview goes so beyond that." End quote. And last up in brand news, Skin Fix is going to bring its sensitive skin playbook to Ulta doors nationwide. The skincare brand rolled out to all Ulta Beauty stores last week with 8 individual products ranging from $18 to $85, plus 2 kits, including a $39 starter kit, which includes the brand's best-selling triple lipid peptide cream, foaming oil cleanser, and a new Ulta Beauty exclusive, the Hypochlorous Daily Mist. The brand will have more newness coming to Ulta in December when it will launch its Brighten and Firm 15% vitamin C serum alongside some new skin pads designed to brighten and smooth the skin. Here is a quote from SkinFix's newly minted CEO, Ann Talley. Quote, "We've got these incredible products, a great brand, but relatively low awareness. It's an exciting opportunity to come in and really work with our retail partners, grow the visibility of the brand, and get into more hands, because once people try this, they see the results and they love it." End quote. Talley joined SkinFix in July, and she previously held roles at L'Oreal, Revlon, and most recently, Sol de Janeiro. SkinFix plans to introduce Ulta shoppers to the brand through hero products, entry points, and educational storytelling. The strategy includes a front-of-store placement for its Hypochlorous Daily Mist, sampling, associate education, media, influencer activity, and community engagement. The brand is also planning to seed its sensitive skin starter kits across experts, creators, press, affiliates, and key Ulta community members, with an emphasis on people with sensitive skin. This Ulta launch helps to give SkinFix some access to a new pool of shoppers while building on its already long-standing Sephora business, where it's actually had exclusivity for the last 7 years. The brand is also sold through Amazon, Kohl's, its own website, and more recently, TikTok Shop. As noted before, their famous triple lipid, I keep laughing because every time I say this, it's like a tongue twister for me. Their triple lipid peptide cream regularly ranks among Sephora's top 10 moisturizers, while its $69 Brighten and Firm 15% vitamin C serum ranks among the retailer's top 15 vitamin C products. The brand's origins can be traced to a natural healing balm created in the 1870s that inspired beauty industry veteran Amy Gordanier to find Skin Fix in 2014. True to its roots, the brand specializes in clinically proven skincare focused on repairing the skin barrier and addressing concerns including sensitive skin, acne, eczema, and dryness. Their CMO, Christina Santos, had this to say about the brand. Quote, "We're really trying to let people know that you can get a product where you don't have to give up something just because it's gentle and good for your skin. You can have product that's really efficacious and also doesn't aggravate your skin. And making sure more people know about that and have that option in their bathrooms is what we want to do." End quote. And some exciting new releases this week. We have Elizabeth Arden unveiling their fourth generation of their iconic gold capsules. Elizabeth Arden, the beauty pioneer in ceramide science for more than 35 years, yes, long before TikTok, unveils the fourth generation of their iconic gold capsules, the Advanced Gold Ceramide Capsules Daily Youth Restoring Serum. This particular formula is powered by something called the PPAR Longevity Catalyst, which helps support the skin's natural barrier lipid production. It is clinically proven to reverse 5 years of visible aging and help delay future visible signs. I would love 5 years off. That would be great. The formula is also infused with an enhanced skin identical ceramide matrix, which strengthens the skin's barrier by binding the lipid matrix together, and phytoproof to help reduce the appearance of redness. Amber Garrison, the president of Elizabeth Arden and Fragrances, had this to say about this release. Quote, "At Elizabeth Arden, we are proud to have led innovation in the science of skin barrier for more than 35 years. As our consumers become more knowledgeable and ingredient savvy, we remain committed to advancing our formulas to meet their evolving needs. Our iconic gold ceramide capsules have now been elevated with breakthrough technology that goes beyond traditional repair, strengthening and restoring the skin barrier to help delay future visible signs of damage." End quote. These new advanced gold ceramide capsules are now available in 30, 60, and 90 count capsule formats, and you can find them at any Elizabeth Arden counter nationwide, also online and on Amazon, Ulta, Macy's, and Nordstrom Marketplace as part of the brand's debut on the platform. Danessa Myricks Beauty is releasing their first lip product. The bright light that is Danessa Myricks is releasing her brand's first ever lip innovation with the launch of Glosswork 4D Ultra Shine Plumping Lip Gloss. This is a clinically tested formula that delivers visible plumping, long-lasting hydration, and mirror-like shine without the sting traditionally associated with plumping products. Glosswork is powered by the brand's proprietary cushion wrap technology, including a peptide-based plumping complex that visibly enhances the appearance of lip volume while smoothing and hydrating the lips. Unlike traditional plumping glosses that rely on irritating ingredients, Glosswork is powered by skincare-inspired ingredients that visibly enhance the look of lip volume without the sting, but also hydrates, smooths, and improves the overall appearance of lips over time while delivering multi-dimensional shine. If that's one word for Danessa Myricks products, multi-dimensional. They're always a beautiful payoff. The collection will include 14 universally flattering shades, including 2 exclusives to her website specifically, and they are designed to be worn alone, layered over lip color, or incorporated into an overnight lip care routine. Each gloss is priced at $26, and they are scheduled to launch this week, on August 21st at Sephora.com and on her own website, and it will officially launch in physical Sephora stores nationwide on September 2nd. And a new British skincare brand named Only This is launching with just one product. With routine fatigue seeming to be at an all time high, more brands are seemingly embracing a more streamlined formula, more multitasking products. And the latest to join this movement is the brand Only This. The brand was founded by Sarah Al Murad, who brings more than 20 years of beauty industry experience, including running her own women only spa. After countless conversations with clients in the treatment room, she noticed that the same frustration kept coming up again and again. People wanted skincare that was effective and easy to stick to without the overwhelm of an extensive routine. Her answer to this is the brand's Plump Lift and Glow Serum Cream. This is an all in one formula designed for the face, eye area, and neck. Combining the potency of a serum with the comfort of a moisturizer, it's powered by the brand's proprietary Restore Active Natura blend. The formula was developed over 3 years in the UK alongside specialist formulators and manufacturers, with a focus on natural, plant-based, and ethically sourced ingredients. To support its one-step approach, Only This has also released some results from a 12-week internal trial. Between weeks 4 and 8, participants saw a 20% improvement in the appearance of wrinkles and a 20% reduction in visible pigmentation, alongside improvements in skin texture, pore appearance, and redness. By week 12, the results had actually improved even more, with wrinkle visibility reduced by up to 33%, pigmentation decreasing by up to 58%, and skin elasticity increasing by up to 48%, contributing to a firmer, healthier looking complexion. Now, I kind of buried the lead with this one. This is not available in the US quite yet. It is currently only launched in the UK. So, my UK listeners, please report back, give this a try, and let us know how it is. And we're going to end this week's Beauty Bulletin with a little bit of a 2026 beauty growth story. The US beauty industry delivered a solid first half of 2026, with prestige and mass retail both up 7%. Prestige sales reached $17.1 billion, while mass climbed up to $39.2 billion. However, beneath that story, it is far from a uniform growth. In some categories, consumers are buying more, and in others, brands are just generating higher dollar sales with flat or declining unit demand. Here's a quote from Larissa Jensen, the global beauty industry advisor at Circana, who has collected all this data. Quote, "Beauty continues to benefit from consumers' willingness to shop across price tiers, selectively investing in products that deliver the strongest emotional and functional value. Fragrance remains a key avenue for affordable luxury and self-expression, while skincare is benefiting from consumers' growing focus on whole body wellness, preventative treatments, and daily rituals." End quote. So as she said, fragrance was one of beauty's strongest performers, but prestige and mass tell notably different stories. So in prestige, fragrance sales rose 6%, while units remained flat. So the average prices increased by 5%, which means really that the dollar growth was more about the rise in costs than consumers buying more fragrance overall. Mass fragrance, however, looked healthier from a demand perspective. Sales jumped 15%, while units increased 7%. So that means that the category is benefiting from both more purchases and higher prices, suggesting that fragrance's appeal extends well beyond the luxury consumer. Skincare was the fastest growing prestige category, with sales up 9% and units rising double digits. The strongest growth came from body care and sun care, thank God. Body care sales jumped 16%, driven by body cleansers, lotions, and deodorants, while sun care rose 19%. When it comes to makeup, it's a little bit more complicated. Prestige makeup sales rose just 3%, while unit demand actually softened slightly. The category is therefore generating modest dollar growth without expanding its unit base. Yet there are pockets of the category that are thriving. Bronzer and blush posted double-digit gains, while lip liner was the fastest growing makeup segment. I can probably confirm that I was a part of increasing those bronzer and blush numbers. You're welcome. So the most revealing aspect of the first half numbers is the gap between dollar and unit growth. I always put all of my sources in the show notes, so if you want to go check out all of the numbers, it's broken down. This is Global Cosmetic Industry, and they have a really great kind of breakdown of all the different categories. But basically, taken together, the data suggests that beauty consumers are becoming more selective about where they spend. They are willing to trade up in fragrance, expand routines in skincare, body care, experiment with specific makeup trends while cutting back on anything that's less compelling to them, less maybe emotionally driven. I'm not very surprised by this news. It makes sense that people are going to be a little bit more selective about where they spend their money. Obviously, fragrance is still leading the pack. I don't see that slowing down anytime soon, especially when there are more accessible, affordable brands for people that have very high quality. I think that it's just going to create more options for people. And I think Refinery 29 said it perfectly, where it's almost like the new type of fashion is your scent. So I'm not really surprised to see that those numbers either. I'm excited to see that sun care is starting to increase and body care. So if you want to see the full breakdown, again, check out the show notes for more. From a new fragrance podcast to the fourth generation of some iconic gold capsules, that's your roundup of this week's top beauty stories. Stay tuned for the next Beauty Bulletin as we track the shifts shaping how we shop, wear, and experience beauty. And don't forget to like, rate, subscribe, and share. It really helps the podcast out. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.